I chose to analyze the portrayal of mental illness in the film Split. Why is this topic important? Mental illness affects people of all ages all around the world, and there are so many stigmas surrounding mental illness that prevent people from getting help that they need. The portrayal of mental illness in film has a large effect on these stigmas, and they can often contribute to these stigmas. Mental illness is a disease and is something that people are unable to control. It is not a choice. I analyzed the portrayal of mental health in the film Split. My analysis of the film was intended to explain how mental illness was portrayed to break the stigma surrounding mental illness, despite what others say. There is a lot of controversy over how the filmmakers intended to portray mental illness. Some argue that it is portrayed in a negative manner, however, others claim the opposite. After I personally analyzed the film, I believe there are many scenes that contradict this. The filmmakers allow the audience to see the viewpoint of the person who is suffering from mental illness. I think the filmmakers purposely intended to do this in order to break the stigmas rather than contribute to them. What will others say? As I mentioned earlier, others who watch this film could argue that Split contributes to the commonly known stigmas surrounding mental illness. One of the main stigmas is that people suffering from mental illness are violent. Another common stigma is that people with mental illness are crazy and should be avoided at all costs. However, in multiple scenes, the filmmakers made the audience aware that there is more to the main character than this violence and insanity. What do the critics have to say? I used 4 secondary sources written by Jennifer Eisenhower, Erica Hanley, Naomi Kondo, and Kathy Livingston. Some of them took different approaches than others. Most critics disagree with my general analysis of the film. Jennifer Eisenhower and Erica Hanley believe that representations of mental illness on film contribute to the stigmas. Naomi Kondo believes that in film, people with mental illness are often portrayed as violent. Split does follow this pattern, but it also shows the non-violent side of the person struggling with mental illness. Kathy Livingston believes that inaccuracies and stereotypes in film can actually be a positive thing. She believes it helps the audience to see and recognize these inaccuracies and stereotypes. In other words, it creates the conversation that we are having right now. It brings light to the stigmas in order to break them. This is the first step in breaking the stigmas. After analyzing the film, my claim is that despite there being violence in Split, overall it works to break the stigmas surrounding mental health because it allows the audience to see a different side of mental health. As Kathy Livingston explains, bringing awareness to the stigma is the first step to breaking it. I believe the filmmakers took action to break these stigmas by bringing attention to them. I created the following thesis. After watching and analyzing the film Split on my own, I recognized multiple scenes that contradict both Eisenhower and Hanley. Split seems to contribute to the stigmas that surround mental illness, yet the filmmakers challenge this idea and encourage the audience to see the viewpoint of the person suffering from the mental illness. If anyone has any suggestions for my thesis or how I could improve it, please let me know.